This is a concept that I first heard through Peter Drucker, ultimately through the lens or through the voice of Jim Collins. And it was in his foreword to The Effective Executive that he gave these simple words, this simple set of instructions. Stop what you would not start. Stop what you would not start. This is something that I've chosen to apply in the work that I do, in the way that I act, in the way that I behave, in the relationships that I engage with. Stop what you would not start. From a decision-making perspective, I don't know that you can get much more clear than this. When you get to a point where you can stop what you would not start, you will start to focus time, energy, and attention on the right things. Now, here's the key, though. In order to stop something, you must have started it before. You must have gotten some kind of experience. And this is where I go when I talk about the whole idea of you can't reflect on what you're going to do. In the process of stop what you would not start, and this is going to be a relatively short learn, think, act. Think through the work that you're doing today. Write down a list of all of the tasks, any of the tasks, whatever they are, any of the relationships, whatever they are. If you know the jobs that you're doing, the pieces of work that you're doing, and you know the people that you're engaged with, you should be able to, and I use that word with intention, you should be able to evaluate whether or not this is something that you would choose to start again if given the choice. And if at any point in time you would say, no, I wouldn't do it again, I wouldn't start this again, I wouldn't build this again, then stop. Give yourself the freedom to not continue to do things just for the sake of doing things. And I can share a personal experience. I've hung around businesses too long. I've hung around relationships with people too long. When you stop what you would not start, you get the freedom to continue to move forward. Each day is a new day. It's always day one. Some people will say it's always day zero. If you stop what you would not start and you continue to move forward without the baggage of whatever it was that you were doing before, imagine how much faster you'd be able to move toward the things that are most important, or ultimately do what you are made for. Do what you're made for. I like to use some of the 2x2s that we talked about. We did the energy versus impact, sucks the life out of me versus builds me up. Impact, low impact, high impact. We also talked about the Eisenhower matrix, importance versus urgence, right? We've talked about the square, that resource allocation, what, why, how, at what cost. These are all decision-making tools that you can use to get better at making decisions and move things forward in a way that is meaningful for you. So take this guidance, stop what you would not start. Look at things in the context of work that you're doing, relationships that you have, maybe even habits that you've built. Tasks, relationships, habits. Habits might be a relationship with the work. And identify some of those things that you're doing right now that if given the choice, you wouldn't start again. And stop what you would not start. I hope you've enjoyed this series on decision making. I would love to hear from you how this has started to shift or reframe the way that you look at decision making and work to separate the emotional side of decision making from the logical side of decision making, applying both the skill set of decision making and the tools to create leverage and ultimately move the world, make better decisions. I'll end with this. Stop what you would not start. You don't need to continue to keep doing things just because that's what you are doing. Things aren't the way they are because it is what it is. Stop what you would not start. If you know somebody who'd find value in this, please share it with them. If you have any questions around decision-making and how you can improve decision-making, both at an individual level and with your team, please let me know.